Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where we are currently faced with the British Navy right where we want to be. That is a little bit unfortunate, to be sure. We do have our planes that are up here in naval strike mode. Are they actually doing it? Hang on. I'm not certain that they are, but I also want to take a look here. Okay, so there's the naval strike mission efficiency there. But what I also want to do is I want to get our subs, specifically and only the subs, into a new fleet here, and I just did that wrong. I always do this wrong. Navies in this game are wild. Okay, so we're going to reassign this commander here. And these are supposed to be assigned to naval invasion support. Right here. There we go. Now, I want to grab the submarines, and I need to remember, because if we click to create this, it brings all of them. It doesn't just bring this. Navies are so weird in this game. But I believe that we need to do a new task force here. So if we now select this task force, we can have this be set to, let's see, do we want it to patrol? Or do we want it to strike force? We want it to strike force, or rather, we want it to patrol. So we're going to have that head on out, and our submarines are going to go work on dealing with some of the naval situation out over here. Navies in this game are so weird. I usually don't do much with navies. In this game, it's a lot weirder than most. So that's absolutely fine for now, and we'll let that proceed. Our submarines are going to work on doing things. And the real question is, are the British going to leave or not? Well, we'll find out. So at this point, we've got a bunch of planes on naval strike in this area, and the question that I have now is that actually happening? Because we're not seeing anywhere near the amount of naval strikes that we were previously. So we select this air group. This is on naval strike assigned to the Straits of Malacca. Okay, there's apparently 100% efficiency here. That looks good. And if we look at the actual naval supremacy here, we can see we're at 8.6%. So, actually, hang on. What is happening here? This is a big old naval invasion here, isn't it? Again, I believe this already happened and was kicked out of here. So the British have left this region, it looks like. Okay, so that's a good sign. This is the People's Republic of the Malay Archipelago, up over here. They don't have access to any supplies, and we can see that these guys are responding to them. That's absolutely fine for right now. I want to check in on these guys and see 126 days. Okay. This we can launch basically anytime we want to, and we may want to give this an actual commander. This guy will do. There are so many of this guy. Okay. That's exciting. So there's going to be combat occurring over here, and I want to keep an eye on the naval supremacy in this area. So we can now see that our planes are actually getting some battles again. We lost a plane here, that's fine. We lost a plane here, and this is the British fleet here. That's absolutely understood. And this is also the British fleet. So we're losing planes to the British fleet, which is not terribly surprising. At this point, I wanted to check in on the status of our research here. So this is the improved ship torpedo launcher. This is a magnetic detonator, interwar medium airframe. Right, we did upgrade our planes. So that seems okay. I want to add additional air wings here, and we can only do one for right now. So I did want to check in on the production of our air wings. Okay, so this is 1.07 per day. So we did not have a production efficiency reset. That's very interesting. 1 per day is still pretty decent. I don't mind that. So we'll continue to work on getting that brought up, and we can toss additional factories into this as possible based on our aluminum. That's going to be the core issue there. It's going to be the aluminum. So that seems okay. And then can we move these over here? Ah, this is how we're supposed to move that into the air group. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. So that seems fine for the moment, and we'll start to see our better planes coming through. We're going to get upgrades to our fleets as well. For the moment, I'm keeping an eye on this situation here. I do expect these guys to get kicked out of here, though. Yeah, I definitely expect them to get kicked out of here because they have no access to supplies. So that is certainly expected, and we will see if it happens, but we don't really care either way. So at this point, the question is, how are we doing here? 92 out of 126. Okay. So I want to check in on the status of some of our conversions here. I think that we should certainly get a few more of these. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I want this as well. 8, 9, and I'm going to do 10 for the moment. So that looks good for right now. And how are we doing on our overall quantity here? It's very good. So there's no problem there. That seems excellent. And if we look in at our civilian factories, we can absolutely get a few additional civilian factories built. And this is, of course, going to be because of our taxes that we had to pay, or rather our dividends. So that's absolutely fine. I want to check in on the status of our coring. That looks okay. No issue there. Okay, so this naval battle, we're definitely doing some damage there. So that looks neat. We will get some submarines in here. I want to edit the composition, and we want to get 25 subs here still. There we go. That'll do for now, and we should see some additional subs on their way down. So that looks good. And then if we check in on the sub count here, so this is still at 25 out of 25. That looks good. So at this point, our naval control over the Straits of Malacca is very close to where it needs to be. It's not quite there, but it's very, very close. I am shocked that they haven't attacked here. That's wild to me, that they've not dealt with this situation.
Hey, come on!
They absolutely should have. So we can launch this attack in a few days here. 24 to be precise. Looks like we lost one of our planes here. That's not a surprise. We actually expect the number of planes that we lose to go up a little bit because we dropped down on its amount of armor. So that's reasonably expected. No shockers there. So at this point, we can see 1.04 per day. What just happened here? The Kingdom of Afghanistan? No, they're not ready yet. We will want to have them eventually. No actual significant change here. I thought I saw one, but apparently not. So that's fine. We're just going to wait at this point until 126 days pass, and then we'll look at attacking here. So that looks good, and we're still pumping out a fair amount of our ships at this point. We do need a lot more steel. There's no doubt about that. We are very resource constrained at this moment, and that is absolutely understood. So the rest of this all looks pretty decent, all things considered. Yeah, we just need more aluminum. So that's absolutely fine. We can take a look at some of these potentially aluminum producing areas, but we should have infrastructure built everywhere at this point. So that's not really going to change too much unless we wanted to purchase some aluminum producing areas, which is a theoretical possibility. But where? Like up over here, perhaps? We could try to go for some of the steel that's up here. That would get us a border with the Soviet Union, but that's probably not the worst thing in the world at this point. So we could certainly think about that. So if we were to go to decisions here and we tried to purchase this from Afghanistan, we can't purchase this. This is their capital region, and we need to figure out what we want to do about that. Maybe the rule is we're allowed to declare war on them, but only for the capital region, and they have to have no other regions outside of it, or something along those lines. I don't know exactly, but that's the current thinking. But for now, I'm much more interested in getting this naval invasion completed. So there's the improved ship torpedo launcher. That looks good. Let's go ahead and work on the advanced ship torpedo launcher. There we go. We'll boost up our torpedoes. We still have not managed to sink any enemy ships yet. That's not terribly shocking, but I'm also noticing that our submarine fleet isn't really getting anything done at this moment. Like, I don't think they've engaged in a single battle, to my knowledge. So that's a little bit awkward. So they should be on patrol here. They have low surface detection and low max speed. Ah, they're locating a task force here. Hang on. They're doing a thing. They're going to have a hard time with actually, you know, doing anything, but they tried. So that indicates that they're trying to do things. That's good. So over here, we can see that these guys are definitely starting to get low on their amount of health. And as we get more advanced planes here, this is going to be far better for us. We currently have an air wing with no mission assigned. Is that true? All of these air wings should. Ah, okay. There we go. Naval strike. This one did not have a mission assigned. So fair enough. So that's absolutely fine. We can... I don't want to create an air group here. No. I'm going to assign this back over to this air group. So that's fine. I wanted to add a new air wing, and we're going to continue to toss in some of these advanced maritime patrol planes. So I want to make sure that all of these are in this group, and they should be set to naval strike. There we go. So now we've got more planes out over here, and that looks good. And our planes are getting better as we get them replaced with this updated model, or at least they'll do more damage anyway. So how are we doing on this preparation? We are now ready to attempt this. Let's give it a go and see what happens. If we have the naval supremacy, which we do actually right now. So that looks good. Off we go. I don't necessarily expect tremendous amounts of success from this, to be clear. We're not using Marines, and we might want to start thinking about getting Marines. Hang on. We are currently winning this, but we're expecting it to last a very long time. Now we're losing it. Outcome is currently undecided. We're probably going to lose this. I'm not terribly shocked about this either. So we can see out over here, we have managed to engage. That's really quite good. We can see the status of this at this time. They're trying to flee, but we may or may not be able to get them. So our submarines are actually doing some things, and we'll see if we succeed in this landing out over here. It'd be wonderful if we did. They are starting to retreat, actually. So are we, though, to be fair. Okay, so we're continuing the naval battle here. Sure. So we're getting some screening from our bombers, and they're definitely doing some damage out over there. I'm not sure exactly what the plan is as far as this goes. Like, what we're going to get out of this? Probably nothing, to be honest. But that's fine. We're just trying to harass them at this moment and make this area annoying for them to work in. So that looks good. The real question here is, are we actually going to win this? We're currently projecting that we win this, believe it or not, which is wild. Absolutely insane, in fact. I would be shocked if we actually won this. That was down here? That wasn't an overall attack on us. Okay, good to know. Hey, we sunk a convoy. That's good. So we're starting to actually do things navally now. That is absolutely fantastic. And we will see if this ends up being a thing. I would still be surprised if we end up winning this. Keep in mind, these tanks are not amphibious. We don't have Marines. This is just standard infantry and tanks. If we win this, it would be rather shocking. But we'll give it a go for now. And if we took this, it would be magnificent. We don't care if we don't hold this territory. We can always buy it later. That's not a big deal. So at this point, this estimate is going all over the place. Very much all over the place. Well, we'll see. We do have a number of forces that have pulled back from this invasion. I would still be surprised if we actually succeeded in taking Palembang. I feel like that's not really going to be a thing. But this is definitely indicative that we're moving in the correct direction, and that's important. So that's very, very good. I do want to check in on the status of this fleet. So we can see that there are 7 subs here. There are currently 0 heavy cruisers. In this fleet, we can see that there are 3 heavy cruisers. So why are they not getting assigned here? Maybe they can't do it while we're doing the invasion support. That's a possibility. So we're currently estimating another 24 days, but this estimate is constantly fluctuating. It is going everywhere. It's now down to 5 days. Okay. Now it's down to 3. I think we might actually make this. Advanced landing craft just finished, and we should definitely continue to work on getting some landing craft going, or at least, like, we could work on some of this damage control. That seems okay for now. Okay. So we're currently estimating a few more days, but they just brought reinforcements in, and we were very close to getting this. We were very, very close to getting this. That's interesting. Very, very interesting indeed. So we are seeing some of our planes get shot down. That's not terribly surprising, but we managed to sink a Japanese convoy out over here, and that's very good as well. So that's absolutely phenomenal. We're doing surprisingly well on this invasion. We'll see if we actually make landfall or not. There's another one of their units that was just kicked out of here. So they're getting supplies through here, and they're getting supplies through here. Those are their 2 supply points here. And the real question is, how much of that is being disrupted by our bombers and submarines? And that's an interesting question, for sure. We don't really have a solid answer for that. Ah, there's the Earthshaker bomb just finished as a special project. So we can continue to work on, say, rocket interceptors. Why not? Get going on that. Land cruisers, we don't have the breakthrough here for yet, and this is actually also a land warfare facility, so that looks fine for the moment. This is a very long-term attack here. And it keeps going all over the place. It's very close to breaking through. Okay, I think we just failed. So that's fine. That was a very interesting result. No doubt about that. So I'm going to assign this guy here, and then I'm going to assign... Actually, I'm just going to delete these because they're kind of in the way. I'm going to assign you to do a naval invasion once again from here to here. And then you... We're going to try it again. There we go. And we'll see if we have some additional situations out here, because we're starting to take down these convoys. That looks good. And we are also, in theory, going to have some additional cruisers over here, I hope. Although these don't appear to be getting auto-assigned. And I don't know why. We could manually assign them in here. So if we deselect this and group them like that, that should manually have them come in. So that looks good. Our naval supremacy here is currently 100%. We're currently engaging some German ships out over here with our subs and our bombers. So that looks fine for now. And this is going to be, once again, quite a long time before we actually get to launch this. So one thing we can think about doing is we can think about recruiting a Marine division. I don't really want to set up a Marine division template for it, though, is the thing. So we'll see. We will see. If we manage to get successfully over here, that would be great. And then there's a few additional locations out over here that we would have to go after. The question is, would we be even interested in invading, like, here and over here? Or would we just go directly for the jugular and go for Japan proper? That's likely what we would do after we manage to do this. Oh, look at this. We sunk 2 light cruisers. That's cool. And we got another light cruiser over here. So these are relatively dated ships, right? That's absolutely fine. That's not surprising in the slightest. But we're making progress there for sure. So the interwar medium airframe has been finished, and we can continue to work on, oh, bracket shooting as well. Sure. So let's work on ladder shooting next. as soon as the autosave is done anyway. There we go. And that seems absolutely fine. In the air category, we don't really need anything else here. Let's just continue to work through the naval category as quickly as we can. So we can start working on mine warfare, although I don't anticipate actually needing to use mines very significantly here. So, okay, this is looking reasonable over here. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of British ships over here for sure, but we'll see what we get. We don't care if we lose a couple of subs here and there. That's not a big deal. So I would definitely like to continue to have more planes going into our airbase. So let's take a quick peek at how we're doing on our production. 1.69 per day now, so that's definitely on the way up. Yugoslavia wants us to join the Czech Entente. I'm going to decline that. To be honest, we're doing fine on our own. I'm completely comfortable with this. So we're going to add in an additional air wing up here. And that is 88 of them. Wow. Okay. What was that last one? Yeah, get out of here. I don't actually want that. There we go. So all of these are going to go in here. They're going to be out here doing naval strike. Beautiful. Then we've got these guys here. They should also be in this category. So that looks good for now. And what is this in this? Ah, that's our close air supports that we started the game with, that we just haven't done anything with. And we don't really want to. It looks like at some point we ended up losing a submarine. We're down to 24 here. So that'll get replaced soon enough. Advanced ship torpedo launchers finished up. We took down 2 light cruisers there. And it looks like we lost a single naval bomber, and they lost a submarine and an early cruiser. So that's pretty neat. Yeah, they're definitely starting to take some serious naval losses out over in this area. So that looks great. Us losing a submarine is not necessarily fantastic, but we're doing a lot better out over here now. So that looks good. I do want to continue to work on some of this additional research. So we can grab the modern ship torpedo launcher, and that's going to allow us to get our upgrade on our submarines fairly soon. We'll get that going, but that's not ready yet. Oh, we're definitely catching these guys again. So that's looking good. We'll hopefully do some decent damage to them. We lost a couple of bombers there, but that's not the end of the world. So this invasion over here, it'll be ready to be launched eventually. I'm still shocked that they haven't done anything about this pocket. They're at war, right? They have to be. Fighting a defensive war. Yeah, they're at war. So why have they not done anything about this pocket? Why have these guys not built a naval shipyard here? Or a naval base, rather. They have a shipyard, I think, but they haven't built a naval base here. Nobody's done anything about this to kick them out. That's wild stuff. I'm not sure what's going on there. So here we traded a naval bomber for an early destroyer. That is a very worthwhile trade. And that's 2 more early cruisers sunk over here. So we're starting to rack up some serious naval kills out over this way. There's another convoy taken down as well. So that is fantastic. Keep in mind, we have a very small navy at this point. This is a very limited scope operation. So that's absolutely wonderful. We can get more cruisers in here, which we're going to do. We want to get these guys grouped together properly, although that's interesting. So we're back down to 0. Huh. I'm not sure what's going on with that. These heavy cruisers are not actually willing to join this fleet. They refuse to, actively. So if we put that back in here, and we select these guys, let's just, they're currently in Singapore. So if we have these merged together, we can merge it, and you can see they join here. And now it's fine. But our composition broke. Okay. That's interesting. Let's do something like this. Okay. So they're currently repairing. I think I accidentally ordered that, but it's okay. They can do that. We've got time. So that's absolutely fine for now. We can see we didn't really get anything out of that engagement. Here we took down 2 German convoys, so that's fantastic. Yeah, we're definitely starting to get some naval success out over here. All of their supplies have to flow through the Straits of Malacca. They've only got these 2 locations to do that. So that looks good. At this point, we're mostly just waiting on trying this invasion again, and if this one fails, we'll probably think about getting some Marines going at that point. Another thing we could potentially do is go for some sort of a bombardment here with our bombers. I'm not sure what their range is. Oh, okay. It's, plenty. We're gonna go with plenty. So yeah, that's something we can think about. But it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and next episode... How did we lose a destroyer? Was it sailing in? Because our destroyers are supposed to be important. But okay. Well, as I was saying, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to launch this attack once more, and we'll see if we're any more successful this time. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Dark Horse, Ethan Feldman, Aurelio, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.